Now that it's August, the Sonic Frontiers hype train is picking up speed once again. It's been known since the middle of June that Sonic Frontiers will be a part of Gamescom, which happens later this month, and Tokyo Game Show, which is in the middle of September. It's also been recently confirmed that EGX London will host Sonic Frontiers, and that takes place immediately after the Tokyo Game Show. But as far as Frontiers being at Gamescom goes, we've got an update for it. Check it out. TikTok has partnered with Gamescom in providing live coverage of the event, not that it's the first time they've done this, of course. And they'll be providing exclusive looks at gameplay for a handful of titles. Guess which game is a part of that lineup? You got it. Sonic Frontiers. Initially, I'd assume that the other events showcasing Sonic Frontiers would have to follow the same set of rules that Summer Game Fest did. You know, the embargoes banning participants from speaking out about certain aspects of Frontiers until Sega gave it all clear. They were allowed to talk about the game, hence their hands-on impressions, but for specific aspects of it, they had to be quite vague. But at least for Gamescom, it looks like Sega is shifting gears and becoming a lot more open about what's on display there. And though it may be a little too soon to say, Tokyo Game Show and EGX London may get just as lucky, which is pretty sick. While this has not been officially confirmed yet, at least not as far as I'm aware of, it's looking to be about that time where we could get our next trailer for Sonic Frontiers. And this one may have a focus on the story mode, an aspect of the game that Sonic Team has spoken confidently about. This assumption isn't too far out there, because think about it. We're getting close to the end of the year, and Frontiers is projected to release to the public around that time. In addition, we've gotten ourselves quite a handful of trailers. First the announcement trailer at the Game Awards, and then a series of gameplay trailers throughout the month of June, courtesy of IGN first, Summer Game Fest, although that one's unofficial as embargoes were in place then, and the Nintendo Direct. But none of these trailers ever gave us a deep dive into the story mode. We glimpsed aspects of it like Sage and the Titans, but we didn't get a full-fledged story mode trailer. And if it's supposed to be one of the stronger aspects of Frontiers like what's been hinted recently, I would think they'd have such a trailer ready to go, they just haven't dropped it yet. If you want to keep up with TikTok's coverage of Gamescom, there'll be an article about that subject in the description below. It will mention a handful of creators that will be live streaming the event over at TikTok, so give it a look and prepare yourself for some Frontiers hype. I'll tell you one thing right now that I am hoping to see from the event, an opportunity for Eggman to get his time to shine. We haven't seen him in any of the trailers, though we did see his technology over at Kronos Island, so I think it's about time we change things up a little bit. As far as the gameplay goes, they've talked a good deal about it, but we might get a little bit more insight about it. For example, the reveal of another handful of cyberspace stages, and perhaps some more information on the customizable control that have been talked about so much. There's a set of sliders that you can move around to affect things like Sonic speed, and with also a high speed mode and an action mode. Putting it simply, one is faster than the other. It depends on how you'd prefer your Sonic games to feel when you're playing them. There's something else I'd like to bring into the spotlight real quick. Near the end of the second Sonic Central, Sega briefly teased a prologue animation for Sonic Frontiers, which will feature Knuckles and the unexpected return of both Angel Island and the Master Emerald. This represents a return to the original storyline for Knuckles, something that I didn't think I'd see in a mainline game ever again, not counting Mania and Origins for obvious reasons. Part of me wonders if the fact that Knuckles will appear in this prologue animation is Sega's way of acknowledging how well received he was as a character in the second Sonic movie. If so, then let's call that a boss move. By the way, I kinda have to acknowledge an incorrect assumption I made a few videos ago. When I first saw that teaser for the prologue animation, I figured that Sonic, Tails, and Amy would get thrown into a wormhole generated by the Master Emerald, which would in turn take them to Kronos Island. But from the other details I've heard about the story mode, that does not appear to be the case. The prologue animation will certainly lead up to the beginning of Sonic Frontiers, but there may be other factors to consider also. One way or another, I'm excited to see how it turns out. If the prologue animation is going to get more than one episode, my guess is that it will have only 2. Why? Because after Sonic Mania Adventures, which had 6 episodes, they trimmed it down to just 2 episodes per series. So to balance things out, they increased the length of each episode from like 2 or 3 minutes long to around 5 or 6. There were 2 episodes each for both Team Sonic Racing Overdrive and Sonic Colors Rise of the Wisp. I'm betting that Sonic Frontiers will follow the same trend. But I'm quite confident that our first sighting of the Frontiers Prologue will be at the Sonic YouTube channel, as that's where all the pre-release animations have gone since Sonic Mania Adventures. It only makes sense. And speaking of Mania Adventures, their video featuring all 5 of its episodes is getting pretty close to 100 million views on YouTube. That is one hell of a milestone, man. There's a pretty darn good reason that these pre-release animations became so popular since Sega first started releasing them with Sonic Mania. You should totally give these a look if you haven't yet. You're missing out on a lot. Well, technically, it doesn't have just 5 episodes, it has 6 as I said a bit ago. It also got a Christmas special, but that was released well after the 5th episode, which is why it isn't included in the video that I just mentioned. But you know what I mean, right? Of all these things though, the one that I find to be the most likely candidate could be a story mode trailer that will surface around the time Gamescom happens. The first time we'll see it might be from a TikTok coverage, or it might be in the official post from Sega, could be one or the other, who knows, right? But I'm excited to find out. What about you guys? Gamescom will be both a digital event and an in-person event taking place all the way over in Cologne, Germany from August 24 to the 28th. In other words, in under 3 weeks from now. TikTok's coverage of the event will be 8 hours a day, all week long, which means lots of content for us to keep an eye out for. You could keep it with TikTok at Gamescom using their article that I've left in the description below this video. And that about wraps it up for this latest news video for Sonic Frontiers. But if you're hoping for more Frontiers content, you might want to keep it here at this channel because I've got another video coming up soon. If you'd like a hint as to what this next video will be about, we'll be diving into the mind of a character that's been in the Sonic series since the very beginning and discussing his role in the story mode. I might have already named this character, so I'm not going to bother making you play a guessing game. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, drop those likes and comments down below to let me know your feedback, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell to keep up with all my Sonic content. Thank you again, and I will catch you guys next time. Until then, blue blurs for life. Take care. Anyway, that's the extent of what we know about Eggman's story. But for any Eggman fans out there, fear not. According to Sonic Team, Eggman is expected to play a prominent role. Most likely as a reluctant ally to Sonic, as it is apparent he is not going to be the big bad of this game. That role has been delegated to the Titans and potentially to Sage, the Ghost Girl.